तू प्रोड्यूसर है.
Okay. So our topic is like how to create resource and deploy models using Azure OpenAI. सबसे पहले तो ये बताओ like who knows about OpenAI and the things that has been going on in AI industry currently. Okay. Yeah. So everyone knows about ChatGPT, right? And what are the advancements that are being made using ChatGPT, like in AI especially? We can finally say that like the era of AI has come because now we are seeing or incorporating AI in our daily lives as well, and probably it will be more common in when we will be going ahead after like 5 months, 6 months, and like we have two big tech giants, you know, just getting head on with the AI thing, right? And we will be seeing a lot of things in future, and I'm very optimistic of that. But there are a lot of caveats as well. Like we have to be very responsible. We have to like be responsible in way we develop, design, and create AI systems, right? And there are like various things that are in place. These such big companies have put in. There are a lot of investments. There are a lot of research going on, so that like how we could make AI accessible to everyone, not just like big organization, but people like us, right? We are also like able to talk with like ChatGPT, right? We are able to converse. We are able to do different other things, and that's why I thought that maybe those who are like a bit kind of interested in tech and AI and want to like just play with AI. So that's why like this topic. I just wanted to give an API or like create an API so that like we as a developer or we who want to like who are interested into API, we are just like go and try and play with it, like just go opening OpenAI and ChatGPT, like okay, that's a very normal thing to do, but we do it our like developer way, right? In software engineers way, and we want to do that. So same thing we will be doing it, and we will be taking help of Azure OpenAI. So let's get started. Yeah. Now a bit of intro about myself. Like I'm currently software engineer at Microsoft. I have more than 5+ years of experience, and I am also like you guys very new to this AI, and I'm trying to just learn and like take this into account, learn as much as possible, so that like I am like as engineers, like it's our job to be very aware of whatever is going into the tech industry and learn whatever is going there, right? That's the part of our job. Even like if you do not skill yourself, if you do not like level up, then it will be very hard for you to compete in the market as well. So yeah, like I like sports, so I can play cricket and badminton, traveling, hiking, all of those things. And of course, these are my social handles, Aman 23. What's the point of even doing these things if we are not connected socially? So that's the way how it goes, and we are a part of community. So I have been trying to do this on Twitter. I'm very active on Twitter. So if you guys can like want to DM me or like tag me, I will be able to reply there. So yeah. Okay, like we know these are some of the buzzwords like AI, ChatGPT, OpenAI models, GPT-3, GPT-4. How many of you know GPT-3, GPT-4? What are those like? You guys know?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So these are kind of models that we have. So like GPT is like pre-trained transformation models there, right? And there are different versions of it. Some of are there text. GPT-4 like has more improvements, more functionalities there as compared to that of GPT. And there are different other as well. Like there is some Dolly as well, that like kind of image generation thing. But yeah, it also uses such kind of models as well.
Yeah, image journey also.
Now let's come to know like what is Azure OpenAI and how it is different from OpenAI. So OpenAI has already like all those things like regarding how to use their APIs, how to use ChatGPT, right? All those things are there. But what makes Azure OpenAI a bit different from what there already is, right? So first, let's understand about Azure OpenAI. So basically, this is like service provided by Azure in collaboration with OpenAI to to access the models that OpenAI already has, right? And they can be used for content generation, creation, like semantic analysis, and all those kind of things that I have mentioned here. And like if you see, there are different ways in which you can access the service, like the REST APIs, Python SDK, or web-based interfaces. We will be seeing this in demo live. I will be using web-based interface, that is Playground, right, from OpenAI, and I will also be using code to access their API and get the result. So we will be doing both of things as well. So I think it will be quite like awesome to see all those things and get our hands dirty on whatever we. So yeah. Now moving on, how Azure OpenAI is different than the normal OpenAI. So like in Azure OpenAI, the data that you submit, right, it remains in the Microsoft Azure ecosystem. It does not go anywhere like to the OpenAI or something like that. So that's like your data has like privacy there. It also gets encrypted. If you see, every data is being encrypted. Even if we are using training models as well, it is getting encrypted on the Azure OpenAI service. So that's how like you have security and privacy of your data, and that's what differentiates it from the normal OpenAI that we have, right? So these two things are like very, because as we interact with AI more and more, your data, like whether it is personal or business, like it becomes very important, because like they can be trained for for other purposes as well, right? So safeguarding your data becomes very important, and they should be only used for like in your context, not for like other contexts. So encryption and like having the, so OpenAI is like in every regions, right? But if you see, Azure OpenAI has like only 3 regions, like East US, West, South, or West London probably, West Europe, and South. So I guess there are only 3 regions that they operate upon. So that's how like the data is being managed by Azure OpenAI, and like it becomes really critical. Like if you see, and also like organizer, it also inherents to like all the compliances that as an organization Azure Microsoft has made for all the data that you carry with. Now going ahead, I just wanted in like view models that we have currently, right? We already saw GPT-3, GPT-4 models, but there are some codex models as well, and there are embedding models as well. So currently like GPT-4 is quite new, and with GPT-4 there are 32K version as well, like it accepts up to 32K tokens. We have GPT-3 in which like there are 4 models that we have. DaVinci is the most famous one that currently we are using upon. But yeah, I will not go into details, but just wanted to give a view on how much models that we have and how much we have progressed, like when OpenAI started working upon. These codex ones are mainly used for the like translation of code, like if you want some code and everything, right? And embeddings are for large data sets which are like very text based or something like that. So their embeddings come up. So these are some of the different models that we have, but we will be in the demo as well. We will be talking about DaVinci, and we will be seeing like how we can take advantage of that. Okay, now some basic difference between GPT-3 and GPT-4, because like how it becomes important as like GPT-3, even though it is like so advanced, like we have ChatGPT for normal users, right? And when we talk about GPT-3 or ChatGPT, when we interact with ChatGPT, we get a lot of responses that feels like, oh man, this is a quite correct response we have. But GPT-4 is even more awesome than that. Since like currently it is like premium service kind of thing, but you have to wait for it. And in our demo as well, we will be using GPT-3 because GPT-4 had certain like premium services and something like that. So yeah.
Subscription must be plus subscription.
Yeah, ChatGPT plus 1. So that uses like GPT-4. So currently we will be going with GPT-3. If you see, GPT-3 had like 175 billion parameters, and GPT-4 can take more than that, almost a trillion. I'm not sure about this data trillion, but yeah, it should be like more than that. Okay, GPT-3 can only accept and produce text inputs. Like it's only text based, like ChatGPT. You just provide a text, it processes and it gives you an answer, and whatever the answer may be or whatever the result may be, right? But GPT-4 can accept and produce text, image, and video. So that like really enhances the use case scenarios that we are going to have, right? So suppose if you want to create a PPT, you provide some data, it will create a PPT for you. if you are a content creator, or if you are a YouTube creator, video creator, if you want to make thumbnail, you just provide I want thumbnail for this Azure Data Bootcamp, 3 speakers and some laptop. You can do whatever you want. It's all based on the prompt, and it will generate an image for you. So you can see even now many content creators are creating content, video content using AI as well, GPT-4 as well, right? So like, have anyone heard of Midjourney?
Yes.
Midjourney is.
Yes, yeah. So Midjourney also uses GPT-4, which renders new images based on like use cases. And I have some of the friends outside of India, and so they are like they quite use like Midjourney, and they generate different manga topics if someone is interested, right? Manga characters or their own characters that they wanted, right? So Midjourney is quite awesome in regards to that.
Sorry? They have made it a subscription model, right?
Yeah.
It was open.
Yeah. Initially it was open, but now it is subscription model. Yes, it is a premium service, but yes, it's quite awesome. I have not tried it personally, but I have seen my friends trying it, and like they are like doing some great job. As I said, GPT-3 is like, it's not very creative. I mean, there are some hangovers in the response that we get, but GPT-4 like gives most correct results correctly, and it's very creative. So even if you change the context, even if you give some complex inputs, it is able to generate most of the time correct results, right? And like performance, as I said, on complex task, right? Performance is for GPT-3 is like bit lesser, on a lesser side, but for GPT-4 like the performance is quite high, and even for some use cases it is like human like response of performance. So you can see that like how GPT can really help GPT-4. So like these are some of the things that I wanted to talk about, so that like you understand like in which direction we are moving about certain AI and ChatGPT and GPT-3 and GPT-4 in terms of GPT-4, right? Okay, so here I will give you some demo regarding this. It will not take much time, but let me talk about certain things which are like important in terms of yeah. Okay, I was wondering about prompt engineering. Anyone knows about prompt engineering? Okay, so basically prompt engineering, basically what prompts you give to the GPT models so that you get your desired results, right? So when ChatGPT came, it became quite a famous thing, like prompt engineering, right? Because like your result is totally dependent upon the prompts that you give, and more context you provide, the more accurate results you will be getting, right? So if you see, like all the models, like different way are prompt based, right? And it becomes really important that you try to give correct prompts, contextual prompts, and also like provide it like, for example, with some examples as well to get the desired results. So their prompt engineering like really helps, and it has become a thing. Like many people are being paid really good to be prompt engineers, to come up with valuable prompts to get the results with the customer. So like it really helps you there. It's kind of an art. It's more than science. It's an art. Like I was talking with one of my friends about like prompt engineering as well, and like I was just discussing with all the things, all the prompts he uses to. So basically, he used a prompt that generated an image of a character that he thought of himself. So it was like a female manga character, and like it was like quite cool that was generated. So I asked him like what was the prompts. He said, okay, I played with a lot, and then finally came up with 3-4 prompts, like it should be girl, happy face, blue like suit, kind of something. So all those kind of things were there, right? So sir, there are 4 things basically that that should be there. Instruction, like whether you are providing simple instruction or complex instructions to your prompt, or you have your prompt. Also primary content. So primary content means like suppose you want to write an email, right? So you provide okay, I am writing this email to so the topic should be so, generate an email for this. So the primary content you provided, it is a context, and then ChatGPT or GPT will that model will generate content for you. The third is like cue. Cue means you give a cue to get the desired output. So like suppose you want something the cue would be like explain string theory to a 5-year-old, right? So it's a cue that you want your certain output in a such way that like you want a 5-year-old to understand that. So this is a cue that you want to provide to the user. And then finally, supporting content. So it's not like primary content, but it's kind of supporting content, and it's not the main focus of the generation, but it supports your theory. So these are kind of some of the prompt engineering. I would like to also like talk about like best practices. Like these are some of the best practices that you can provide. Like be very specific. You want, like I want email written to something like to this person, or so suppose if you are a software engineer, right? So if you write that I am a software engineer, I want to generate content on software engineer. So like be very specific. You on what topic you want to create content on. Be descriptive as well. Describe what is your context, what is your scenario that you want to have on, right? So all those things like really help in like getting the content that you want. Also, you will have to check double down. I mean, double down means like giving as much as context as possible, so that like you are able to get your result. As I said, like prompt engineering is a thing. Like you will not get to it like very soon, but you have to like go through it. There is a course on prompt engineering as well by OpenAI that recently came up. It was by Andrew Young as well, right? So go through it. Like it's a 1-hour course probably, but it's a good course to make you understand about like prompt engineering, that how.
So that course is more than 6 hours, because there are also workshops. So
Yeah.
you can actually follow along with your
Yeah,
Python.
correct. So yeah, but like there was, I saw like
Yeah.
there was one
It's a
hour
free
course.
program.
Yeah, free
Anybody
program.
can take.
Yeah. So you can take it as well. Like it is highly recommended course. Like you can take it so that like you will get more context on prompt engineering. And I like order matters. Like in what order you want your output to be, right? So you want to provide that order, because then like it will be able to generate your required results in that manner. And the final is like give model and out. So what does it mean is like if you think that there can be no result, so you can just say that ki, hey, if you do not find any result, give me a no answer. Yeah, give me like some text based on it, no answer found, right? So model, you want to like give the model an option, like so that it does not give you a vague answer. You want it to give a like very specific answer according to your context. So yeah, and okay, I will come down to the demo part, but I guess this is like most important thing that in AI development we want to have, that is like responsible AI, and each organization has their own principles that they follow for responsible AI. What is responsible AI? It means like designing, developing and deploying like AI in a way like that is ethical, right? So you do not want like AI to respond to some things that are not very ethical or kind of way. And I mean, like if you see, if it is not fair, so suppose it should give you correct, answers, and it should be fair. It should not be based on some ethnicity or some gender kind of thing, right? So that comes there, fairness and inclusivity. Reliability and safety. It should be reliable. Suppose if I have some symptoms, right, and it should be reliable that okay, if this person has some symptoms, the answer should be same for all people for having the same kind of symptoms. It should not change with respect to the person or with respect to the gender or something related. It should be reliable. कि यार अगर इसको कुछ symptoms हैं fever के, तो like the answer should be that that person has fever only, irrespective of like who has the symptoms, right? Then like privacy and security, how your data is like being taken from you and how it is managed. So these are like privacy and security. You're securing your data and like keeping your privacy intact. Also, like it should be transparent. Transparent means suppose if I'm going to like get a loan, right? So it should be transparent that how like your loan was like. It should be totally based on your credit score and all those kind. It should be very objective of how like your loan credit was done, right? It should not also dependent upon कि यार किसको loan मिल रहा है किसको नहीं मिल रहा है, right? And like accountable, each one has to be accountable. Whoever is designing, developing the AI models, they have to be accountable. Then like how they are doing, and how they have to have those principles intact, so that like we generate a responsible AI. Because if there are some good sides of AI as well, there can be very adverse effects of AI as well. People can take disadvantage of, or people can be manipulated as well, right? So it is important for us to have those these kind of principles intact. Of course, like why responsible AI? So manage risk and reputation. If an organization is has some risk associated with the AI, so their reputation will be hampered. If AI starts giving you incorrect results, then it is your reputation on the line, right? People will not be using your product, whatever product that you are having, and they should have ethical principles intact, as many companies already have and they follow, and protect and scale. There are some government regulations regarding AI as well. In each country they have their own regulations, and you have to be accountable to those rules, and you have to scale as well within those rules, within those bounds, right? So all those kinds of things. So yeah. Okay, now let's move on to, I wanted it to be live, but I'm sure that there will be some access required, and it may take some time. So I'll just give you an overview of how it is going to be. Okay, I'll just play this video and let me see, or I will just do it on my laptop. So first, what we need to do, we need to have an Azure account, and you can start with free. We will get credits and everything. So first, we need to have that Azure account to get access to Azure OpenAI services, right? And also, there is a form in place, this form, so that you have to fill this form to get access to Azure OpenAI service, and this makes sure that you are being responsible and what are your use cases that you are going to have. Also, you can get free access to OpenAI API. I'm not talking about Azure OpenAI, but for OpenAI you will get free access, and you just need to log in there and you'll be able to get the access. Here you need to fill in the form, and why I told you that first we need to have that Azure account, because of the subscription ID. Because there you will be finding a subscription ID which you will be filling here, so that your account will be getting that access, or right. So yeah, I mean, you will be able to fill this form. I'll share the links. Okay. Now, as you go, I'll just go to home screen. Here, you have to search for Azure OpenAI. Okay. Go to Azure OpenAI, and now first we have to create a resource. So if you see, I have already created 2 resources. But if you want to create a new resource, you just do create here. Okay. And if your account is free trial, let it be. I have already existing 2 resources, but if you want to create, if you are a new user, you won't have any. So you have to create a new resource and just name it something else, test account or Global Azure Bootcamp or something like that, right? You have to choose region. As I said, there are only 3 regions, so, or 4 regions now. So you have to select. East US is the one that I have been. You can provide some name. And if this is the pricing tier, standard S0, I mean this is for free trial accounts, and you can just do next and create. So your resource will be created. So my resource is already created. So now you have already created the resource. Now after that, let's go to OpenAI. I had okay. So OpenAI Azure.com. Okay.
In free time, how many credits have been given out?
Sorry?
In free time, how many credits have been given out?
I mean, $80 credit or $60 credit for Azure free trial
it's
account.
Sufficient to use the
Yeah, it's sufficient. It's sufficient to use.
So
you can use.
Close it.
Yeah. So if you see here, so currently it did not came, and I will show you in the video. But whatever resource that you create, that will come up here. Okay, if you see in the right corner on my mouse, this is the resource that I created, and it will come up here that okay, you are using the same resource that you created in your Azure account, so that on Azure OpenAI Studio you are getting it. And if you go to deployments, now what we will do, we will be deploying a model. So model we talked about in GPT-3, Da Vinci model and other sorts of models that we had, you will be deploying that model. And what we will be doing with respect to that, we will using those models to create APIs, or probably use those APIs, and which will get your results using those models. So here I have already deployed a model, but if you want to create, you just need to create here, add a name, select a model. So you have different models as DaVinci, Curie, Ada, all those kind of model you have to select, and then just like create. So it will be created in the end, and it will show something like this. Now after it is deployed, when you go, there is like option of open in playground. So this is the playground, like where you will be playing with a lot of data, and you will have different options, right? So if you see, here is a load an example. So I'll just show you generate an email example, right? And this is like, so as I said, you are giving some content, you are giving some data to the model. So you want to, you provided some like context to on what content you want to create an email for, and then what should be subject, like all those kind of things you provided. And if I do generate, an email should be generated. So see, you asked for like body and subject line, so subject line was there, right? And since here maximum length of token was 350, there are certain parameters that are there. Temperature is the most important parameter because it signifies how creative your model is, like giving you answers. So for creativity, currently the temperature is 1, like it is very like most creative. You can change it as well to like doing other values so that like it is balanced kind of. So if you see, it has generated a whole email, right? And you have done this using your models, right? Whatever model you deployed, DaVinci model, and you are using. So it's just a web UX web interface, right? We have still not used API. So how we are using API, that I'll show you now. So if you see, view code, right? If you see, this is the code, and for that, like I will be using Python in the use case, and for that you will have to install OpenAI package in that Python. Please do that once you do. But these are some of the parameters that you need to fill. These are like Open API key. So whatever resource you created in Azure OpenAI, there will be some keys associated with it. Those keys are required here, and rest all the things you can let it be. So if you see, let me show you some code. Okay, so this is the Python code that I have just written using my key base and everything else, right? You can just copy this code from portal itself. You will be able to. I've just changed the prompt and everything, and let me run it. So if you see, I am going to write a tweet about Global Azure Bootcamp, and it should contain speakers. I have also put the speaker's name, and let me see what it generates. So I had already tested like while I was sitting there, but yeah, if you see, it has restarted, and it will generate a tweet on whatever. So see, it generated a tweet. Come join us at GAP'23 and with amazing speakers to learn more about Azure and develop innovative solution. It has also provided hashtags as well, and I'm now going to tweet it in my Twitter account as well. So I just copy pasted everything and just tweeted it. See, so as a content creator as well, it is very useful for you, so that like you don't have to think much about, like you just put the prompt and it will generate something for you. I've already tweeted this. You also like can tweet and basically see whatever it says. But yeah, this is the tweet that I just posted, and I created it using Azure OpenAI API. So thank you so much for having me. I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah.